So I'm doing my laundry, but I was also watching the news this evening and watching, hey there, watching the news, and then just thinking about the event that Barbara Lee did yesterday at the Grand Lake Theater. And then just thinking forward for the rest of this, sorry about that, thinking forward towards the rest of this campaign and watching how it's getting real ugly. It's getting real disrespectful, especially the way that the Congresswoman is being portrayed. And I'm going to start showing up different in this race because I think it's important that we model how to fight for people that sacrifice for us. And when I see Twitter ads going up about that are chopping and screwing her words, chopping and screwing the Congresswoman's words to make it appear that she's saying something, or just make it trying to insinuate that she's corrupt, or trying to insinuate that she is not fit to work right now, not fit to serve Oakland. The way that it's being done is real sneaky and real ugly. And the fact that, they have some events coming up that are sponsored by the opposition is really concerning to me. So specifically what I'm speaking of is on Tuesday, March 11th, there's a forum that Fox KTVU is doing, hosting, the public to come in and view a debate or a forum with Lauren Taylor and Congresswoman Lee. And at first I was like, okay, Fox News, even though it's a local affiliate of Fox News, it's still Fox News, but who is really sponsoring this organization? This event. So then I went to a link that I saw, and it's being co-sponsored and put together by the organization that Lauren Taylor started. So I'm like, okay, we got Fox, KTVU, Lauren's organization, Empower Oakland, and then this other group, the Black Action Network or Black Action Alliance. And I was like, okay, I've been organizing around issues concerning the Black community in Oakland for almost 30 years. Like, who is this Black Action Alliance? So then I started looking into, like, on the website, who are they? What do they do? What have they done in Oakland? Who are their members? I couldn't find any information. And that's because the Black Action Alliance is not a real organization. It's an AstroTurf organization that was started 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. And the fact that it was started by Philip Dreyfus, the funds behind the recall of Pamela Price, and one of the primary doom loopers, does not live in Oakland, lives in Piedmont, but one of the primary funders to the doom loop narrative that is really impacting the way Oaklanders see their own city. So I was like, wait a minute. So if the Black Action Alliance is primarily funded by Philip Dreyfus, a Piedmont billionaire, why is he the money behind this forum? Who is this group? And it only has 3 officers. It was started 6 weeks ago. And I said, I'm going to stand up for Barbara Lee. That means I'm going to start telling the truth to push back on these lies. She's going to be diplomatic and graceful in the way that she's addressing what's happening here. But I'm like, listen, that event on Tuesday is a setup. It's a setup by the organization that Lauren Taylor started and said he stepped away from. If you believe that, then you'll believe some of the other lies that he's been telling, like the Congresswoman doesn't know what the city budget is. So they're doing a lot of underhanded tactics, and I want you all to be able to identify what's going on, because they're not playing fair. They're not. And listen, politics is a nasty, dirty place. But I'm going to continue to shine a light on the nastiness and the dirtiness and the connections that, are happening. Because while we have Philip Dreyfus saying Oakland is a terrible place to be, they need to get it together, he's investing in property in Oakland, right? So you need to look at whether this doom loop is a way for people to devalue your city so they can come and buy it up, right? So we got to look at the architects of that narrative and identify what their objectives are and who do they have in position to continue their narratives. And in this situation, I don't got to tell y'all what it is. So once again, we got to look at who is the Black Action Network. I'll post some of the filings that they've made. Who is this organization that's based out of San Rafael? San Rafael, with 3 officers. And, you know, we got to start looking more at like what's going on and who's trying to buy up the city, because it's real. So do you all know, like, if I'm wrong, if this is an organization y'all know, or you know the folks that are behind it, let me know. But right now, what I understand those individuals and those organizations to be are not necessarily groups that really care about what Black people are experiencing in the city of Oakland. You know, we're all one family in terms of people who live here, who primarily want the same thing from our local governments, our state governments, our federal governments. People just want to be able to live decent lives. But there are some people, some upper percenters, who want to be the folks that are at the table, who make the table, who determine what the rules are. And, you know, that's what wealth can do. That's what billionaires can do, especially when it comes to buying organizations. Now, people have been saying since I was elected in 2020, oh, she's corrupt, she's bought. Y'all can check my filings and see that my supporters and my contributors are Oakland residents, right? I don't pay for elections. My people can't afford to pay for elections, right? Because I'm fighting for working class families in the city of Oakland. But you got to look at, why isn't a billionaire not only investing in positions, but now entire forums? He is funding, Philip Dreyfus has funded the organization, the Black Action Network, to sponsor this forum with Empower Oakland. Who is behind Empower Oakland? All the things that they say about this city are negative. This is right out of a gentrification playbook I've seen play out in Chicago, Illinois, Harlem, New York, and I have relationships with elected officials all over the country. They have to devalue the city, devalue the property in order to buy it up. It's disaster capitalism at its finest, right on full display in the city of Oakland. So I want y'all to pay attention, because it's subtle if you're not. So who is the Black Action Alliance? Y'all should be asking that. Why is the NAACP, BWAPA, the 100 Black men and 100 Black women, why are they lending their credibility, their political capital, to 2 organizations that have no history in Oakland? What is their track record of serving the community that they say that they're in partnership with? What have they done? Where have y'all seen them? Again, let me know, because I would guarantee you that Fox News, I don't care if it's local or national, the higher ups at Fox News and the folks who are the money people behind Empower Oakland and the money people behind the Black Action Alliance do not have the best interests of the residents of this city, particularly the Black residents. They want to control it. These are not, the Black Action Alliance is not a real organization. But what I do know about Philip Dreyfus, because I took some notes, that he's the individual that's funded the majority of this operation. He's also a major funder behind some of the, not some of the recall efforts. That the address listed for the Black Action Alliance, I'm going to check my notes, is the same address as Neighbors for a Better San Francisco. Neighbors for a Better San Francisco is the address for the Black Action Alliance. They're a primary funder of the SF school board, the San Francisco school board recalls. They are major donors of Republican billionaire William Obendorf, who is a venture capitalist, Stephen Merrill, who is in corporate real estate and a Silicon Valley angel investor. What's up with that? And the one funder that the Black Action Alliance has, as I've stated earlier, is Revitalize East Bay, an independent expenditure depository for the money of Philip Dreyfus. So it's fiscal oversight. An attorney employs a principal and neighbors for a better San Francisco. So why are San Francisco folks so into Oakland politics? We as the Bay Area, we have shared values because we're so close. But are they in conversation with y'all? Have they contributed to the betterment of Oakland? Like, what is really happening? So I just listed out some facts. I want y'all don't got to take my word for it, but please do your own independent search for what's real and ask questions. Ask questions. Empower Oakland Black Action Alliance. What have they done other than drop a bunch of money to unseat people like me from office, to get me out of office, and then to, get their candidates elected? Which, no shade, go ahead and do it. But when you put Black people as the face of getting that done, then I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna speak on it. There are a couple organizations who signed on, but just like, see Junior's mom, I don't even know who that is by your name, but take nothing at face value. Question me. I guarantee I pass the smell test every time. But question everything right now. And question who wants to own this city. There are a lot of things that y'all see in headlines and in the news that's just not real. It's not real. And they are pushing narratives to indoctrinate you to a way of thinking. Now, we have personal experiences, but the way that it's framed and the way that our anger and frustration is weaponized is a thing right now. And anger and animosity, that's like, it's like the things you want to click on. It grows. It's like contagious. And so people know that emotion sells. So fear sells. So you want to amplify it. And that's what a lot of these things, these devices, the things we focus on, they're capitalizing on that fix you get from clicking on crazy stuff and amplifying fear. Once again, it's contagious. And that's what this doom loop is doing. I'm not trying to diminish the challenges that Oakland has, but you got to understand, if people are continuing to focus on that in order to manipulate you through your emotion and your emotional response to what you're seeing on a regular basis, because they have the means in operation too. Somebody's saying D2 race is also getting nasty. You're on point. I've seen it firsthand. Yeah, because people are justifiably frustrated. People are justifiably concerned. But oh my goodness, we in Oakland should have firsthand understanding. It should be taught about how law enforcement agencies at the local, state, and federal levels were employed to disrupt movements in Oakland. That should be part of the curriculum that every child experiences in the Oakland public school system, because we can be like, we know, because they've done it before. Their playbooks haven't changed that much about how to control people's thinking. It has not changed. It's in fact, folks are better at it now. They study it now with all of the data that we give through what we watch, what we consume. They have more data on how we operate as human beings now than ever before. Ever before. Did y'all think when you're signing up for an Empower Oakland Black Action Alliance event where they're asking for your contact information, that you're giving your contact information to be bombarded with whatever they decide to sell you or to tell you? It's because they're trying to control, the narrative. And we're seeing that it works. We're seeing that narrative works. We're at the, we're experiencing it at the national level, right? So anyway, the point is, I think that the forum on Tuesday is a setup by the architects of Empower Oakland and this AstroTurf organization, the Black Action Alliance. If I'm wrong, I will come back here and apologize. But you can't tell me that an organization started by Lauren Taylor to put him in the mayor's seat is now somehow unbiased. I don't see that. And you can't tell me that an AstroTurf organization funded by Philip Dreyfus somehow wants to host something that's not biased. So it doesn't help that the candidates are so ridiculous at these mayoral forums. People's questions aren't really being answered, just more hyperbole and fear. Listen, I watched one and I'm like, I wouldn't go to none of them. I wouldn't. I would, if I were the candidates, I would get out and talk to people and host events where people can ask me questions directly. Because it's a lot of time committed when you could just be out there touching the people. That's my approach as much as possible. I'll be honest, for me in the second term, it was harder because I also had to govern at the same time. But the candidates right now, I'd be in the streets touching and talking to the people and answering all of the tough questions, hosting my own events. But what I wouldn't do, I wouldn't be walking into a setup. I know that. I know an ambush when I see one. And you can look at the sponsors of the organization, sponsors of the event to know that. Like I said, I was just here minding my own business, watching the news, and then these ridiculous ads pop up because, I watch news on the internet. So I watch it. I stream it from my YouTubes and things. So in any event, ask some questions. Ask some questions from the folks y'all should ask KTVU. Why are you platforming AstroTurf organizations? What's up, Fox News, KTVU? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What are you saying? I got a message from one of their supporters saying B. Lee is trying to push a $50 per hour minimum wage. Y'all, demand sources, demand links, demand proof. Unfortunately, in AI world, you can't even depend on that as much. But if somebody says Barbara Lee said this, ask them to show it to you. Ask them where they got that information. I have not heard this at all, that Barbara Lee is pushing a $50 per hour minimum wage, which is, I would love to have that be a thing where everybody made a living wage and above to live in California, but that's just not a reality. And so you're saying you talked to B. Lee this morning. She said that's all lies. Yep. Good. Yeah, we got to talk about it. Because these folks is out here lying, and the truth matters. If they're lying to you, it's because they think you're too stupid to know any better. So it says more about the people who are lying to you than it does about anything else. So recognize what's happening, because folks want Oakland, and it's not for the reasons that you do. Folks want this place. It has the best weather, the best food, the best everything. And you got to be concerned about people who will destroy something to build it back up. If everything that you have to say is negative and you're trying to tear down a city, part of whose laws you were part of making, many of the laws that you were part of making, it says more about you than it does about anything else. So that's all for right now. But y'all should honestly email KTVU and be like, what are you trying to do? On whose behalf are you working? Fox News, KTVU. We'd like to know, as residents of the city of Oakland, why are you platforming this organization? Are you asking who are the members of this organization? What work has this organization done? I'm not talking about BWAPA. I'm not talking about the 100 black men or 100 black women. But we got to look at the NAACP too. I was an executive committee member for for many, many years. Not just a regular member, an executive committee member for the Oakland NAACP. And there are people that are in the membership that I love dearly, that I have their backs. But the leadership has been compromised in this current iteration of the organization. And I can tell you specifically anti-Black people in that organization. But I'm not gonna touch too much on them, because I believe in having family squabbles, if necessary, with the family first. I've tried with them. They haven't offered to talk to me, but I have reached out in the past to try to get some understanding in the direction that they were moving. That it wasn't successful, but I'm going to keep on trying, because I love Black people. I love all people, but I'm not going to fight my people harder than I fight the folks who created these conditions. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, y'all pay attention. This stuff is getting nasty, and you have to do your own independent search for the truth. Tuesday is a setup to attack the Congresswoman. We've been seeing that happen a lot on social media and with campaign ads. And so I'm urging people to pay attention and ask questions of the folks who are putting out this information, and the folks who are kind of clicking up really to take the city. Do they have your best interests at heart? I would argue no, but do your own independent search. Appreciate you for listening. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go call those other organizations and see what is their affiliation with the Black Action Alliance and Empower Oakland. But y'all should be asking those questions too. Like I said, I'm gonna fight for Barbara Lee in the way that we should when people step up to do this work. So yeah, especially when they have a track record of supporting the people. All right, love y'all. Talk to you soon.